Kakalosh Boker Tov, we're going to continue with the Mishnah on Kuf Yud Aleph Amud Aleph 111.8.1. Says the Mishnah, Choshesh B'shinav. The person has teeth that are hurting. You're not allowed to come and gargle vinegar on Shabbat because again of refuah. But you're allowed to put your bread in vinegar and then you eat it. And even though it's going to cure it, it's cured, but again, you're doing it in a normal fashion. You're not doing it in any other way. Okay, if you have loin pains, you're not allowed to anoint them on Shabbat with oil, or not with oil, with wine or vinegar. You are allowed to put oil, or with oil, but not with oil, which is like rose oil, right? Why? Because it's not common. However, though they're allowed to put oil like rose oil on their wounds. Shimon says, all of Bnei Yisrael are Bnei Melachim. Says the Gemara, Rami le Ravacha Aricha. Ravacha Aricha comes and he says, do Ravacha Bar Papa, which is Ravacha Bar Papa, le Rabbi Yevu to Rabbi Yevu. Today we learned in the Mishnah, Choshesh B'shinav, if a person has toothaches, you're not allowed to come and put vinegar in your mouth and to gargle it. Are you going to tell me that vinegar is good for the teeth? It's written, just like chometz is to the teeth, vinegar is to the teeth, so too is ashan, smoke to the eyes. Obviously, we know that smoke is not good for the eyes, so therefore vinegar should not be good for the teeth either. So says the Gemara, like it's not a question. One is we're talking about chumtzat anavim, we're talking about, that means it's wine, which was not mevushal kol tzurko, wasn't completely ripened, and therefore it's bad for the teeth. And one of them is regular chometz, mamash regular vinegar, which is actually good for the teeth. You can answer. We're talking about regular vinegar. Hadi kamaka, one of them is that you actually have a makkah, and therefore it's like swollen. And one of them you don't have a makkah. Ika makkah, if it has a makkah, so then it's going to cure it. But if it doesn't have a makkah, it's going to be minapeh, it's going to actually make it weaker, and therefore it's not going to be good for you. Okay? Fine. Next, 2 dots. You're not supposed to gargle with the vinegar in it. We said 1 second. I thought we said that you're not supposed to be megomea and then polet to spit it out, but you're allowed to be megomea. You're allowed to gargle it and then you're allowed to swallow it. So Rabbi says, we're also talking about that you're gargling and then you're spitting it out, and that's a problem. Rava comes and he answers, even if we're talking about you're spitting it out, one of them is talking about that before you did the tibul of the Suda. And therefore, everyone says that you're going to do it, right? That you're doing it. It's not nikar that you're doing it for refuah. It's not recognizable you're doing it for refuah, and therefore it's going to be permitted. And here we're talking about that after you already did the tibul. So then it's recognizable you're doing it for refuah, and it's going to be a sur. So says the Gemara, V'neima nef tibul shari, le'achar tibul nami shari. What did you just say? If before tibul it's going to be permitted, after tibul should also be permitted. Because he holds of hoil, which means there's a concept of hoil that normal people do it this way. It should be permitted in this way. The Amar Rava says, there's nothing which is Shabbat is permitted and Kippur is asur. Hoil de Shabbat Shari, but if it's going to be permitted on Shabbat, Yom Kippurim, it's also going to be permitted. So answers the Gemara, Rava retracted from that concept of hoil. Remember, hoil is usually used for Yom Tov. Now, hoil was permitted for this thing, it's going to be permitted for that thing. So they wanted to use the same concept by Shabbat, but then he said he retracted from it. So mimai de mehachada behad, that he retracted from it. Maybe from the other one he was retracted, and therefore he still holds of hoil that since it's permitted before the tibul, so it should be permitted after the tibul. So says the Gemara, lo tzal gadai. We're not going to hold like that. The time was learned in a braita. Kol chayavet tvilot tovlin kedarkan. All the people that are chayav tvilah, they do the regular tvilah. Be'emet Tisha B'Av Yom Kippurim, whether it's Tisha B'Av or Yom Kippurim. So therefore, you see from here, from the fact that he tells him that you have to wait until Motzeh Ta'anit, he doesn't hold of hoil, even though obviously on Shabbat it would be permitted. Okay? Fine. Next 2 dots. HaChoshesh b'motnav. If somebody's going to be Choshesh b'motnav. Okay? So it says over here, HaChoshesh b'motnav, Amar B'Yava Barzav D'Amarav Alacha K'B'Shimon, Alacha K'B'Shimon. That basically, since all Bnei Yisrael are considered Bnei Melachim, that's why it's going to be permitted that they could even use Shemen Varad, which is like the rose oil. So lememra the Rav K'B'Shimon. So what? Rav holds like K'B'Shimon. The Amar Rav Shimi Barchia Mishmed Rav. Rav Shimi Barchia said name Rav. Hai Mesuchia Denizaita. We're talking about that you have a chavit, it's a barrel. And on the barrel, you have the kak on the top. Okay, he says, or the beres, which is like the pipe to open up. So he says, when you're going to clog it up, it's going to be permitted. You're not allowed to push it on Yom Tov, because then what you're doing is when you're putting pressure on it to seal it up, all the things are squeezing out. So answers the Gemara, there even Rabbi Shimon holds that it's going to be asur. Abai v'Rava Damar Tvei, but Abai v'Rava both hold. Moder v'Shom Psikre Shav Lo Yimut says what? He doesn't hold the Psikre Shav Lo Yimut. Remember, the concept of Psikre Shav Lo Yimut means is that if you're going to put it in, it's inevitable that it's going to happen. It's like if you're going to cut off the chicken's head, it's not going to die. Obviously, it's going to die. So even Rabbi Shimon holds that it's going to be asur. That he says davar shouldn't be kaven is still going to be asur. That means even though you don't have kavanah to squeeze it out, it's still going to be asur. It says no, the lechazak of Shimon, the davar shouldn't be kaven is going to be mutar. They taught it without any people. Rav Amar the lechazak of Yudan, and Shimon says the lechazak of Shimon. Rava says vani ani v'ari v'chabura targimna. I myself and the arisha v'chabura, this is what we're mitagim. Who's that? The lechazak of Shimon, not because of his reasoning. What does it mean? If you're going to tell me the lechazak of Shimon that he permits it, because of his reasoning, but if it's from Shimon, he holds that it's going to cure, and Rav holds that it doesn't cure. Rav holds that it's not going to cure. But that which written in the Gemara, the Bnei Melachim, the children of kings, the princes, they're allowed to anoint themselves with their makot and shemen vered. For sure, it cures. But not because of reasoning. If it was because of Shimon, he holds that even though it's not common, it's going to be permitted. And Rav Savar, if it's common, it's permitted, and if it's not common, it's not permitted. But in the city of Rav, it was very common oil of vered, of rose oil, and because of that, it was going to be permitted. We just finished the next chapter of Shmona Shratzim. So we're starting now the next chapter, the next Perek Chamisha Asar, the 15th chapter, Ve'elu Kesharim. So it says over here like this, Ve'elu Kesharim Shechayvim Alehem. These are the Kesharim which you're going to be obligated, obviously, Chas v'Shalom, on Shabbat. Kesher HaGamalim ve'Kesher HaSapanim. So here, let's try to get the pictures. I'll show you the... Kesher HaSapanim. Kesher Gamalim. Over here. Okay, so those are the different ksharim, the different knots. So it says, Kesher Gamalim, Kesher Sapanim, Uchshem Shehu Chayav al Kishudan, just like if you tie it on Shabbat, you're going to be Chayav. Ka Chayav al Eteran, so if you untie it on Shabbat, you're going to be Chayav. Okay? So that's what he says. If you could untie the knot with one of your hands, en chayav alav, you're not going to be chayav. Says the Gemara, my kesher gemalim, right? My kesher gemalim kesher sapanim. What does it mean kesher gemalim kesher sapanim? Ilema kitra de katre bezmama ve kitra de katre bistrida. If you're going to tell me that we're talking about kesher gemalim, is the kesher zamam, which is basically that they put on the nose of the gamal, of the camel, right? So he says the kesher is tida hay kesher sheno kayemahu, so it's a kesher sheno shel kayema. Ela barada kitra de zmam gufe. Udarsita gufe. It's kesher gamalim means the kavanah is a kesher of the zamam itself, right? Which is the tabak which is placed in the nose. Okay, so obviously it cannot mean just stam another kesher which is on that one, but that kesher is not kayema. It's not always, but it has to be the actual kesher here, which is stuck into the nose. That one is the one that we're referring to. Fine. Rabbi Min says, Kol kesher, any kesher that you could open it up with one of your hands, you're not going to be chayav. The brother of Moracha, Aniva le Rabbi Meir Mahu. What about kesher aniva? There's the bow knot, the tie knots, the bow knots. So whether it's on your shoelaces, the ties, basically it's called kesher aniva. So what is the halacha to do with kesher aniva? You could permit it within your hands. So to here you could permit it within your hands. Well, dimar maybe because it's not tight. So v'hamiyadek, but this is tight. Teku, we don't have an answer. Okay, So we don't have an answer. Fine, next. Next Mishnah. יש לך קשרים שאין חייבים עליהם כקשר גמלים וקשר ספנים. Sometimes you have knots, which you're not going to be חייב עליהם, just like the קשר גמלים וקשר ספנים. קושרת אישה מפתח חלוקה. For example, she could tie the מפתח חלוקה. What is this מפתח חלוקה? It's part of a clothing. And this is the kesher aniva. And this one. She could tie part of her clothing. Okay? What does that mean? It says, kosheret isha miftach haluka, by the parts of a vechute sevacha, or from the, on the, like on the hat, on behind her, bishel piskia, or of the chagura, that's piskia. Here we have, this is the hat, and this is the piskia, and then this one also is going to be the next one. It says, and also the shoelaces or the and a pot of nodot Hashem, right? This is the ritzuot of the na'alaim, that we said of the shoes. So we're going to see. Okay? Ugdira shel basar. Eliezer ben Yaakov says, you're also allowed to tie a knot, right, to an animal in order that, not on the animal, it's basically on the like the fence. You're making like a fence in order that the animal is not going to go outside he's not going to go outside. Fine. So says the Gemara, Hagu v'kasha, this in itself is a question. Amarta, you already said, Yesh ksharin shen chayvim al kesher kamelin kesher zvanim. You just said that there's certain types of knots which you're not going to be chayav, like the kesher gamalin or sapanim. Chiyuv oduleka, there's no chiyuv. Hayisureika, but there's still a sur, meaning it should be patula v'asur. V'hadar tani, then you said, it's mashma lechatchila, kosher shem tachaluka afilu lechatchila. So if you remember, we already learned this. We learned that usually if it's going to be patur means patur v'asur, but not that it's mutar lechatchila, except for there was the three cases that we brought down there. So answers the Gemara, Haki Kamar, this is what it means to say. Yesh ksharim shen chayvim aleim kikasher gabalim kasher sabanim. Sometimes there are certain ones that which remind you what are they, right? Kufyud bet amud aleph. Kitra de katre bizmama v'kitra katre bizmama. These ones, the ones that you're going to tie on top of the tabat, on top of the ring, whether it's of the nose ring of the camel, right, or of the boat. Chiyuv al deleka, there's no chiyuv, but it's a sur. And then there are some of them which are mutar lechatchila, and which ones are those ones? Kosher miftach haluka, to open up the miftach haluka, basically the one of the, they used to tie, it's like the women used to do one here and one here, so they were able to tie that. Okay? You guys have a few minutes to continue?
Yes, for me it's okay.
Let's continue.
Okay, fine, let's continue. So tomorrow, let's try to see how much we could do.
These are long ones, but tomorrow will be okay.
Okay, fine, so let's see then. It says the two dots, miftach haluka, pshita, obviously, saying, why wouldn't you be able to open it up and close it every single time? Lo tzricha answers the Gemara, dit le tredashe, that it has two different entrances. It has two different openings. So ma'udatem, I would have thought to say chadamino, but one of them is for sure batel, and therefore, since one of them is going to be batel, she might leave it on. Meaning, if you have two, maybe one of them will always leave on. I'll only open up one, and then she'll leave it on, and then it becomes a kasher shel kayama. We don't suspect that. We're not going to suspect that. She always undoes both of them, both of the different knots. The chutez zevacha, or of her handkerchief, like of the kisui rosh, pshita, it's obvious. And so the Gemara lotzicha, what are you dealing with? Irvichala, that she tied it not very dochak, not very pressing, rather with revach. Ma'udatem, I would have thought to say mishlaf shalfaleh, which means that maybe she's going to take it off. Mashran comes to teach you, isha chasal tzara, a woman, she doesn't want to take it off when it's tied to her hair. Why? Because then she's going to tear off her hair, and it's important to her hair. And therefore, she's always going to undo the knot, and therefore it's never going to be considered a kesher shekayma, but she will always undo the knot to take off the kisui rosh, right? But she would never leave it that way. Urtsuot minal v'sandal, or we're talking about the shoelaces and the sandal laces. So Itmar, it was stated, hitir ritsuot minal v'sandal, right? When you're going to undo the shoelaces of the shoes and the sandalim. Tana Ichada, we learned one of them chayav chata, Tani the patur. One of them we learned chayav chata, the other one we said it was patur v'asur, and the third one we said mutar lechatchila. So it's a question. Kasha minala kasha sandala sandal. So answers the Gemara minala lo kasha. It's not a question. Had the tani chayav chata. When do we say it's chayav chata? B'de ushpache, which are ksharim of ratzanim, of like the sandlers. right? Then it's going to be, right? That when we said it's going to be chayav chatat. Patul of Rasur is going to be b'drabanan, and mutal lechatchila is b'dvnei mechuza, the people of b'nei mechuza, because they were very medaktek in all their clothing, and therefore they used to tie it up with a very strong kesher that it was impossible to take it off without undoing it. So for sure, since they were going to do the knot, it was never considered a kesher shel kayama. Okay? Sandala lokashia, it says sandal to another sandal is not a question. Hadiktani chayav chatat. When do we say it's chayav chatat? It's b'detaye. It's with Arabs, merchants. The katre ushpache. They come and they do it so tight, right, with a kesher shel kayama, right? And the patul of rasur is b'dechumarta. We're talking about is a type of a chomer, a type of a kesher, a type of a knot that they do it themselves. Okay, so therefore it's going to be patul rasur. Mutal lechatchila is a sandal denafke betre, where two people come out with the same sandal. I don't know what that means. I don't know. What does that mean that you're going out twice? Does it explain there? What does that mean?
He said that one worn alternately by two different people with different size feet.
Okay. So therefore, for sure, they have to take it off and undo the knots. Okay.
Yeah.
It's two different people using the same shoe.
Yes.
Okay, very good. So then it says, Kid Rav Yehuda, like Rav Yehuda. Rav Yehuda, right, was Rav Yehuda, Achua Rav Salah Chasida, the brother of Rav Salah Chasida. He had a pair of sandals. So sometimes he used to go out with it, sometimes his child used to go out with it. So they came in front of Abaye, and he told them, Ki I gave them my what's halacha in this case? Amalei, he said chayav chatat. Amalei hashta patur v'asur kakashli. I had a question because I thought it was patur v'asur. You're telling me chayav chatat kamartali? My time, what's reasoning? Amalei, he said mishum v'chol nami zidin nafkin me'ana zidin v'nuka. He says why? Because sometimes I go out with it, sometimes my child goes out with it. Amalei, he said if that's the case, mutar lechatchila, mutar lechatchila. You're right, it's mutar lechatchila. Rabbi Yirmiyah was once going behind the Yavu in a Carmelit. Remember, Carmelit is a makom tur, right? It's not a Reshut Rabim, it's not a Reshut Yachid. If Sikrusua the Sanle and his shoelace broke, Amalei told him, what am I going to do? Amalei told him, Shekol gemi lach techazim achal be'emah krochel ve. Says, take a very soft gemi, like a, like reed type of a thing, which is fitting for an animal to eat, and then put it around it, like to tie it up. So Abaye Rav Yosef. Abaye was once beside Rav Yosef. He said, also, the shoelace broke. Amalei, he told him, what am I going to do? Amalei Shavke, just leave it. So what's the difference? Why in one of them he told them, take this gemirach and tie it up, and the other one he just told them, just leave it. So he says, he answers, it all depends whether it was going to be watched over or not. So right? He says, 1 second, but you could just change it from the right foot to the left foot. So therefore, it's not going to be nikar, the tikkun, what I just did. Right? So it's not going to be not nice doing it that way. So Amalei, he told me, the commentary, it's Rabbi Yochanan, the fact that we paskin, that Rabbi Yochanan was trying to answer up like Rabbi Yehuda, is mashma that we paskin like Rabbi Yehuda. And therefore, the halacha is that the sandal is not considered a utensil. And therefore, I said you're not allowed to carry it by itself, because it's not a utensil. So says the Gemara, so Maihi, what is that? What does this mean? The time was going to the Braita, sandal shnifseku shte oznav. If you have a sandal that the two oznav broke off. Here's the picture of the ritzua that it broke off. So then he said, put on a gemi, which is this one. Put on this, like the reed around it, and then it's going to be good. Then he said, shasandal, it doesn't say it. But basically the two sides broke. So he says, o shtetar sirotav, which are the two hooks where the thing goes through, where the shoelaces go through. O shinital kolakaf, or the entire sulya, the entire the bottom part of the shoe. How do you call it? What's the word? The bottom.
The sole. It's called the sole.
The sole. Thank you. The sole of the shoe, right? Is tahor. But if it was only one of them, right? Whether one of the sides or one of the holes or the majority of the sole, right? It's going to be tameh. Rabbi Yehuda says no. If it's going to be the inner one, it's going to be tameh. If it's going to be the outer one, it's going to be tahor. Ula says, some people say Rabbi Chana. Amar Rabbi Yochanan, ki machloket liyan tumah, just like the machloket is to do with tumah, so too the machloket is to do with Shabbat. Okay, so he says, avalol liyan chalitza, but not to do with chalitza. So we ask the question, Rabbi Yochanan, aliba deman, Rabbi Yochanan is going according to who? Ilem aliba de Rabbanan, if you're going to tell me he's going according to the Rabbanan, if to do with tumah, it's considered a utensil. In Yan Shabbanami Manave, it's also a utensil. Avalol chalitza, but not for chalitza, de la manahu. It's not considered a manah. But now we learned in a Mishnah, chalitza shel small biyamin chalitza kashera. If the woman that had to do chalitza took off the left shoe instead of the right shoe, it's still going to be a kosher chalitza. But rather, aliva de Rabbi Yehuda minyan tum'ah lamana, just like to do with tum'ah, it's not considered a utensil. To do with Shabbat, it's not considered a utensil. But to do with chalitza, it is considered a utensil. So ema damina, we already said chalitza shel small biyamin chalitza kashera. That if she took off the wrong shoe, it is a chalitza kshera. Heicha deleminte manahu. Just like it's going to be considered a utensil. So to here, it should be considered a utensil. The Hamar of Yehuda says of Yehuda, if sekach itzonat tahor, alma la manahu. So you see, it's not considered a manah. So says the Gemara, leolam really a liba de Rabbi Yehuda. Eima, what I'm going to say, v'chen chalitza. The same halacha applies to chalitza. Akvashmanan, it comes to teach you the chiyamnin and the chalitza shel small b'shel yamin chalitza kshera. When do we say that chalitza shel small and yamin, that the chalitza is going to be kosher? Heicha, in a case, kufil bet amubet, de leminte manahu, that to do with its own utensil, meaning for the leg, it's going to be considered a manah. Aval hacha, but here the sandal that it broke off, it's not considered a sandal anymore. You can't use it as a shoe, so therefore it's not going to be considered a utensil. So says the Gemara, Miyam Rabbi Yochanan hachi, does Rabbi Yochanan actually hold like this? The Amar Rabbi Yochanan says, halacha is like a stam mishnah. Utznan, we learned in the Mishnah, sandal shnifseka chamel oznav tikna. If you have a sandal that one of the oznav broke off, right, and then you fix it, it's tameh tumat midras. But if both of them broke off and then you fix it, it's tahor, because it was completely annulled from being a utensil. Aval tameh magam midras. But if you're going to have a tameh magam midras, right, he says, but it's going to be tameh for me tumat midras. My lover, we're not talking about that there's no difference with was the inside shoe or the outer shoe. Says Gemara, no. We're talking about the inside of the shoe. Aval chitzona, but the outer part, what's the halacha? It's going to be tahor. If so, at the tani when we learned, if the second also part broke and then you fixed it, it's going to be tahor mina midras, but tameh to do with magam midras. That means it's tahor if you wear it, but if you touch it, it's going to be tameh. Niflo b'didam, make a differentiation. But medvoni, one of these words, only if it was the inner one. But if it was the outer one, it's going to be tahor, because you're not going to use it anymore, because it's the outer one. So says the Gemara, Rav Yitzchak bar Yosef, says Rav Yitzchak bar Yosef, it's got 4. Right? In order not to break the words of Rabbi Yochanan. So since it has 4, you've got 2 on the inside and 2 on the outside. So when we're talking about that if it was nifseku shtei oznaim, it's tahor, we're talking about 2 of the outside, which is a gnai to fix it. Meaning if it's on the outer part of the shoe, it's noticeable. So everyone sees it, so you're not going to fix it. So on the inside, you would fix it, but it's not as noticeable. Kiyata Ravi, when Ravin came from Eretz Yisrael to Bavel, Amar Rav Chanan bar Abba, it says Rav Chanan bar Abba, the name of Rav, halacha is like Rav Yehuda. And Rav Yochanan says halacha is not like Rav Yehuda, but rather like Chachamim. So says the Gemara, does Rav Yochanan actually say this? So Rav Yochanan hachi. Since Rav Yochanan answered according to Rav Yehuda, Shema mina, he holds like Rav Yehuda. So answers the Gemara, no, Amorai ni Rav Yochanan. It's a machloket Amoraim and Shitat Rav Yochanan. Does he hold like Rav Yehuda or not like Rav Yehuda? Tanan Hatam. We learned over there in the Mishnah. Kol kele bale batim shiuran kirimonim. All the shiurim, all the utensils of bale batim, the shiur is like a rimon, like a pomegranate. So by Chizkiah comes and he asks the following question: Nikev kemotzi zayit. If it has a hole, like a olive to come out, ustamo, and then you fix it. V'chazar v'nikev kemotzi zayit. And then again you made a hole in order to take out a zayit. Ustamon, you fix it. Actually, Shlomo, until it came at the size to take out a rimon. Ma, what's halacha? Do we say that since at the end of the day it did have a hole altogether, take out a pomegranate, it's not gonna have any tuma? Or do we say since you fixed it every single time, it's not batel? So Rabbi Yochanan says, Rebbe, Shanita lam, you taught us. Sandal shnifseka acham oznav tikra, and you fix it, tamei midras. Nifseka, the second one you fix it, tamei midras, but it's tamei magam midras, the touching. So we asked, what's the difference between the first one and the second one? Right? You fix the first one. You told him it's panim chadashot balokan. It's something new, meaning it's considered a new utensil. So to here it should be considered a new utensil. which means that since the first one already was mitkalkel, right, with a shiur that's mevatel torakli, it already took off the old tumah, but now it's a new utensil, the fact that you fix it. So Karele, he said, let them barinash, you're not a human being. Ikadamir, he said, Kigon dem barinash, you are a human being. Meaning, according to the first one, he was saying, you're not a human being, you're a malach. According to the second one, he was saying, you're not a human, you're not even, are you not a human being? Meaning, you are a human being, you're the biggest person. You are a gadol because you remembered what I taught you. Okay, so remember, if you remember what we teach you, you're a malach, or you're a human being, but one or the other. You're never going to be a chamor or anything else. Fine. Amar Rabbi Zirab, Amar Rava Bar Zimna. Says Rabbi Zirab, Rava Bar Zimona. Im rishonim b'nei melachim. If the first dorot were like melachim, b'nei melachim, anu b'nei anashim, so we're human beings. If they were human beings, and yishnim b'nei anashim, then we are like chamorim, then we're like a chamor. But not like a chamor v'chanim Mendoza or Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair. Not like Rabbi Mendoza or Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair. Like a shar chamorim, like any other chamor. Because their chamorim were very, very smart, right? But there was very interesting things that were written on them. That they never ate from things that weren't taken off maaser or things like that. They were very special chamorim. That means even a chamor, right? There's a special chamor. But if not, then we're even chamorim. You know, we're like regular chamorim. Fine. Says the two dots. Nodot yain v'shemen. Pshita, obviously. That we have two different oznaim. We have two different types of ears, right? We're talking like two handles. Okay? That if it's only one of them, so it's going to be batel. That as long as you have one handle, it's not batel still. Then we said a k'dira shel basar, a pot of meat. So obviously, right, it's pashut. Since we opened it up every single day to open up the meat. It has like k'dira zarbubit. It's like a tzinor that you could take out the nozlin from. So I would have thought that you're going to be batel and then you're going to leave the knot there. Mashmalan, you're not going to do so. Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov says, Koshrin, you're allowed to make like a knot in order to stop the animals from coming outside. Pshit, obviously. What are we talking about? It's got two isare. Here it is. Two chavalim. In order that the animal cannot come out. Okay? So, Ma'udu Tema, I would have thought to say, right? Let's just go to the Mishnah and Kufyud Gimel Amud Aleph. Chada minayu batul mevatel. You're going to be batel one of them and you're going to leave the other one there. Kamashmalan comes to teach you that you're not going to be batel all of them because still, right, in a be'ema yotzet el bedachak, so therefore you would actually undo both knots and therefore you're not going to leave it there on Shabbat. So Amar Rav Yosef and Yehuda ben Shmuel lechak es Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov lechazak Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov, they're allowed to do this in order that the animal will not go outside. So Amalei says halacha mikla deplik. If you say lechazakim, it's mashma somebody argues, but who argues? Amalei says ma'naf kabichi. What do you care? Amalei Gemara is more today. Says what? I care. It's just Gemara that we're learning and we don't want to. We're just like we want to understand what's going on. So because of that, we want to understand what's happening. Okay, so Baruch Hashem, we finished